Hey, welcome back to the Lloyd Tommy C. I'm your host, Tommy Cunningham. Today's video, what we are planning to talk a little bit about today, and I'm not planning to make an entire video about this, but I might put little glance in like my other videos about it. Today what we are going to be focusing on is mostly like the major theme parks, like for instance Kentucky Kingdom, Kings Island, Cedar Point, Six Flags, and maybe Holiday World if they got anything interesting there. So the first thing that we are going to be looking at is the Morgan County radio system. Now the reason why I'm wanting to look at this, it's because they got a new radio frequency on here, which is really nice. It's 154.070, and we all know that radio frequency is from the Ellettsville area. So they kind of got like an Ellettsville radio frequency, which is really nice. So like looking at like the Crown Plaza has like an engineering radio frequency. The Hyatt Region is now got a banquets. We already talked about the West End. Now I've been seeing like a lot of people talking about what in the world is like the radio frequencies at the Circle Center Mall. Well, they got three frequencies there. One is for security, another one's for maintenance, and the third one is for operations. So they are kind of like all in the exact same frequencies. So like going back and looking at like they did an update on the Indianapolis cap system, which I think this is really neat. They do it at One America Square, and we all know where that's at. So you guys take Meridian up to Monument Circle, and One America Square is this big monument there, which is really nice. Plus they also got the Indiana State Capitol, which honestly they got some really nice radio frequencies there. They use like the Indiana P25 system for like their security. They use it for their housekeeping. They do it for their maintenance. And they use it for almost everything there, which is really nice. So looking on here, like for instance, like the city of Sandusky. Okay, so the city of Sandusky, currently our emergency radio's plain analog envoter system. The older technology is extremely both coverages and implicit needs to be demonstrated by the IT manager, police chief, and fire chief, and excuse use one talk. So going on down, they got my apologies, the channel turned off, I guess expecting very important improvement, but still same week streaky single. It's always been I live This person says they live out of the county line south of Sandusky, which we all know Sandusky, Ohio, is right by the area of the radio frequencies which are part of like the different areas. Which, for instance, I want to talk about this website I'm using. It's called forms.radioreference.com, and you guys probably remember this because most of your businesses actually uses this. So like for instance, the following: Stoneville Arc, Cook Medical uses this, which is really nice. They also use it like in so many like different places. I cannot even talk about it because their radio systems there are like so like very nice. So like for instance on the Michigan radio frequencies, they got for instance on here, like for instance, they got for instance on here like, if I could find it, we might have to go over to a different, okay. So it looks like we might have to go to the page on the database and look on here at Sault Ste. Marie on here, which I haven't talked about in my videos before because, okay, so this is the part where I think it's going to get interesting because they got some like different radio frequencies which on here, which I think which is really nice. Like for instance, the Sault Ste. Marie Tower is 155.415. The McHenry Tower, Fire Tower is 155.3, 155.3, 3535, which that one is the exact same frequency as the command there in Terre Haute, which I think which is really nice. For instance, on their businesses, railroads and stuff, they got like a really nice casino there, I think. It's called the Kitchewa Casino, and it's in Sault Ste. Marie. But just to give you guys like a little bit of insight like on this, they do some like really interesting like stuff on these radio systems. So like for instance, let's just say you guys are waiting to switch over because you guys are having a problem like on your other system. Like for instance, like me and my family went on the Carnival Paradise, we were trying to listen to some open, we had us an open radio channel, and then after that, once we did that, we got some blanked out, which was really shocking because we were like so close to the cruise ship's repeater, and I think, why in the world would people do that? So like for instance on here, so in like Mackinac County, which I think which is really nice, they got the Mackinac Island, which honestly I won't be able to see because there is a lot of walking there. So they also got 155.025, which is fire, EMS, and hospital. They got 118.275, which is Mackinac Island Air. For like instance, they got Michigan State DNR, which they got that on the Mackinac Island, which is really nice, which I think. and clicking on businesses, attractions, and stuff, they got like their hotel, which is the Breakers Resort Hotel, which I think is really nice. This is the area where I think, which is kind of interesting. Because the Kitchell Hotel, Casinos, Hotel, and Convention Center has like a casino shuttle. They have 4 channels of casino operations. They have a maintenance channel. They also have a hotel operations and operations. And I'm thinking, why in the world would French Lick Resort on their old Blue Sky Casino, which I learned that many, many different radio frequencies there at French Lick is changing into a DMR. Which, like, also to talk about on here, there is like a lot, I mean, lots of places that use DMR, and we gotta understand that. For like instance, looking at the Shelby County system, and this place is where the Memphis area is. So they got, for instance, they got FedEx Forum, which is an arena, Grizzly Talk, and Levi Talk, which I think is really interesting. They also got an international airport, which I was looking at that, and I thought, well, I was looking at the Zoo Claro Gardens, and they've got all their radio frequencies as analog, which I was reading on the discussion board this morning on like about our local zoo, the Indianapolis Zoo. They used to be on a analog system. Now they changed over to a DMR, which stands for Digital Mobile Radio, which, for instance, if we look at their radio frequencies on there, they got several different ways that they can use it. So like for instance, if I look that up, if you guys are not yet on this form, I recommend you guys look it up because you guys would find lots of interesting stuff. So like for instance, if we go to Indiana, that I put one on here which is really interesting, I think. It is, it's about the Indiana casinos, and I was like, why in the world do you guys got like the Indiana casinos, which is like, honestly, like a really good radio signal, and we should honestly be listening to it. So like for instance on here, sorry guys, it takes me a minute to find it. So right here, the Indiana Children's Museum, completely reducing the rail lineup. We'll put new stuff and start monitoring to see what lights when it's done. What are the channels you are seeing? Channel line of tone, switch to DMR. They also got several different deleted radio frequencies, which I think is really interesting. And if you guys ever go there to the Indiana Children's Museum, with your children, I recommend you guys do look these up. Like for instance, 152.425, 151.615, all the way down to 154.505. And they also got frequencies like 160.2075, which is also like really nice. They got, for instance, like a couple new NXDN like radio frequencies. So like for instance, looking on here, like at the Indianapolis Zoo, getting back talking like that, RAN 11 is for all the repeaters over there, which like that's really interesting for people that goes there and they think radio scanners are really cool. Alright guys, that's it for today's video. If you guys liked it, make sure you guys give it a big thumbs up and hit that subscribe button if you guys are new to the channel. In YouTube, I hope you guys liked this video. If you guys have, make sure to be nice. In YouTube, I will see you in my next video. Goodbye.